Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. I have officially pushed the go button. And thanks for joining us here on Behind the Agent. I'm your host, Frank Array. We're going to get started right about now. Welcome, everybody. Today I have a wonderful guest. Ricky Alvarez is in the house. This is going to be insane. Get ready. Hey, if you've never watched Tequila Transactions, you might want to take a look at that. I'm not even going to get into that. We might talk about that later. But we're going to talk to Ricky Alvarez here. Ricky Alvarez, thanks for joining me here, man. I really appreciate you coming in. Thanks.
Of course. Honor and pleasure, Frank. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you bet. I can't wait to hear your story. So let's get this stuff out of the way. Ricky is the owner of, or part owner or owner.
Yep.
Okay, of
Yep.
Boulevard Real Estate. They've been around and they got started in 2019. Basically, is when they formed. Ricky's been in the business 9 years, so he's no slouch, right? You know, not necessarily an old salty dog, but not a youngster either, right? So doing pretty good there. Plenty of experience. Let's get a look at production. About 30 transactions in the past 12 months, about 30. So looking good, man. There's a lot of people out there right now that would be like, yeah, I'd like to know how to do 30 transactions. That sounds really good, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Serving the Contra Costa County area, Alameda County. But are you guys home based in San Francisco
Actually, yeah,
what?
that's where our parent company, or our partner side, that's where their headquarters are in
Okay.
San Francisco. Boulevard actually has a couple offices. We're in Wanna Creek and in Concord.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, so that's where we're headquartered. But yeah, I mean, the Bay Area is, it's where our heart is, man. That's where our home is.
Okay, great. Well, let's get right to it. So, Ricky Alvarez, what were you thinking when you got into real estate? What was going through your noggin?
Frank, I really wasn't thinking. Actually,
Oh, sorry. I hit the cheer button by accident. What I should have done is hit the laugh button. That's
yeah.
what I should have hit. So, anyway, sorry about that. All right. So, you really weren't
It's all
thinking. What
good.
happened?
It's all good, man. Actually, I like to tell this story all the time because I come from very humble beginnings. Actually, my parents are property owners and huge real estate investors, and it's been actually part of my life since I was a little kid.
Huh.
And never knew because they very they made us work for everything we had. They made us earn it, and growing up, we were going to school and then coming home and helping dad fix toilets at his apartment buildings and
Really?
clean carports. And my job was to get there and sweep the laundry rooms and make sure the carports looked nice and the stairs were nice and clean.
Wow.
And grew up thinking my parents were maintenance people at apartment buildings, and then come to find out, later at a later date that the kids I was hanging out with at the apartment buildings were like, yeah, your parents are the owners. And I kind of blew my mind because my parents
What?
never made us feel like we had money. They always made us really earn for everything we have. And I think at the end of the day, that's really, made us very humble and, appreciate everything we do have because we work really hard to get it. And, being a young, first generation Mexican American and being a Latino, it's, you don't see Latinos owning property like that, owning multi
Yeah.
buildings. And so for me, it inspired me to go down that path, and also had my dad nudging me every time he had a chance that you have to be a realtor in this family. We don't have a realtor. We have investors, we have commercial guys, but we don't have anybody that does residential sales. And I was like, Dad, I don't like realtors. They're super sleazy. They just want the deal. They don't really care about their clients, and they're just always after just after the deal. And that's just not the lifestyle I wanted. I told my dad they're like sleazy car salesman. He's like, no, you got to do it. The family needs you, and you can help so many people. You speak both languages, and he had a point. He did have a point. And when I went to college, it really kind of made me feel like I not only knew real estate, but I feel like I could do it a lot better than a lot of people that I have interacted with in the past. Because as a kid, yeah, I was sweeping carports and stairs and whatnot and doing the hard work. But as I got older, my responsibilities grew, where I was dealing with now mortgage lenders, I was dealing with realtors, city officials, and things like that. So, and even talking to tenants. So like really let me grow into the industry, let me learn a lot. Really gave me the comfort zone to be where I'm at now, and be able to talk to people. And dad's a great negotiator, so dad instilled negotiation into me too. So negotiations in my blood. So you pretty much I was bred for the business, Frank. And my parents really pushed me to be where I'm at today. And, thanks to them too, like they're a big part of my foundation. So I really, really super appreciative for them for that.
Man, what a awesome story on how you got it. And how
It-
cool is that to be, oh man, my parents are maintenance people. I'm always cleaning this stuff. And little do you know, no, they own it all, So that is
yeah.
a really cool side to the story. So what year did you get licensed?
So it was February of 2015. So
Okay.
10 year, it'll be 10 years next year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you
10 years.
go right from getting your license? Did you go work for another company and then you opened? So you yeah, because you opened Boulevard in 2019. So you had
Right.
that. What'd you do for that 4 years, real quick?
Right. So yeah, in the beginning, actually, I graduated college 2013. I was working at a pawn shop. I was also working at Outback Steakhouse, had a couple jobs, and it wasn't until I graduated college that summer where my boss at the pawn shop was like, "Hey, you're the most educated person here. I can pay you as much as I can, but your value is well beyond what we do here." And I was like, and it made me really think like she's right. Like although I could have a future working there, it wasn't, my ceiling was very short. Like
Mm.
I felt like I needed to grow and spread my wings and do something for myself and create something of my own. And she's like, I know you're very passionate about real estate. I know that's your family's, but that's your family's business. And I have a good friend right now who's looking to build his real estate team. He's a really good friend of my husband. They went to college together at Chico State, and he goes, I think it'd be, and I remember this like it was yesterday. She gave me a congratulations card for my graduation, and in there was his card. And I'm still in business with Joshua Simkin England to this day. It's going to be 10 years. I mean, I've known him for 11 years, but we'll be doing business together for 10 years next year. And that's where I started. I just started interning and learning from him, and he was doing about 40 to 50 million alone by himself. And we literally took hit, we went started with, just Joshua to now having about 19 agents at Boulevard doing over 250 million in business a year and growing. So definitely, you have to find yourself a mentor in this business. You have to find someone who you can relate to, someone that you can ask questions and not be afraid to be vulnerable, and also be able to understand what makes them great and be able to use that to then hopefully mold that into what's going to make you great, and try to just take a little pieces of folks who are successful. Because if people have been in the industry for many, many years, I mean, there's real estate is very cyclical. People get out of the business within the first couple of years. They just, they don't build their business correctly, or they're just not consistent, or whatever it may be. But, for me, I really just try to learn from the OGs in the office, the people who are still there grinding, the people who have been through it all. And, if they've been in the industry for 20 plus years, they're doing something right. So I was just there like a sponge, just learning from everybody. And Josh really took me under his wing and treated me, like a, a peer. He didn't look down at me and think like, oh, this is just a young kid out of college. I'm just going to take money from him and just, you use him to close deals and just make money off him. And over the years, just like he always knew when I needed something. He always knew that when the conversation came that, I was getting growing and getting better. And he was always like, yeah, I already know what you're gonna ask me for. We got to raise your commission split. And he always knew. And still to this day, like he always empowers me to do better. And it's, you always have, you have to find that person that fits um what you're looking to achieve, and it's going to be that kind of catalyst to kind of push you forward and make you better. And I'm really thankful for not only just Josh, but also he had a partner that he was working with, and they kind of did a lot of work together. And still to this day, we all work together. And his name is Michael Briones, and he was the broker on the squad. So he was the wealth of knowledge, and he was in the business for 30 years already. So for me, it's like I just came in to learn and just do what I could do to get better. And I was the first one in, last one out, and I still apply the same, work ethic and approach I did then to that I do now. And I think that's, partly why I'm successful. So
I tell you, and this is interesting because I'll tell you, brother, in the last, I don't know, 4 weeks, I've probably interviewed, 25, great producing agents. And what's interesting that I find is the origin stories are always somewhat similar. And what I mean by that is like typically people don't find real estate, but real estate finds them,
Right. I
somehow.
agree with
You know
that.
what I mean? And
Yes.
like you
100%.
graduated college, congratulations, here's the card. This is what you should be doing. You're like,
Right.
okay, let's go. And now here you are. What a cool story, man. Very cool. And there's already lessons learned in it. Thank you for sharing. Your origin story is great. But let's move on. Keep it short.
Sure.
So
Of
30
course.
transactions in the past 12 months. Where are they coming from, Ricky? Where do they come from for you?
It's a lot of hard work, Frank. It's really making people feel appreciated. For me, I came from the service industry. I was waiting tables in college, and I always try to always picture myself sitting at the table with them and just trying to have a great experience. And I do that even to this day with real estate, where, when I meet with clients and I feel like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and trying to, remember when I bought my first house and everything that I went through, and, you know, just trying to make my clients feel more comfortable, trying to making sure that they understand that, we're a partnership. I'm working with them together to help them achieve their goal, whether they're buying or selling or investing or whatever it may be. And just trying to have that, just very white glove approach, that VIP service, because I want them to be my talking billboards. I've spent money in countless things over the years, and I would say that the best money I've ever spent was investing it back into my clients and really showing them the gratitude and that they deserve, and just showing them that, I'm really appreciative of their business, because at the end of the day, for me, it's just really important to be able to help people achieve their goals, and to be a part of that journey is just really, it helps me sleep easy at night. It helps me get up in the morning, and it just drives me every day. And a lot of my clients are Latinos like myself, or first generation, or their parents never owned a home and now they're owning homes. And it's, a lot of them are also college buddies of mine, fraternity brothers of mine, and their family and their friends. And so, for me, it's just really important that my clients have a great experience. I just want them to be super happy and so happy with me that they go out and tell their family and friends what great experience they had. Because best believe if they didn't, Frank, they're going to tell even more people
Right.
how crappy of a realtor I am,
Right. So would you say, Ricky, then is the majority of your business, like 30 transactions over the past 12 months, is the majority of that referral?
Repeat and referral clients, Frank. Yeah.
Really? So I did notice you had some stuff go. I will mention I saw Tequila and Transactions
Oh, that's my
on
baby.
YouTube. Looks like you have some fun. You know what I
We
mean?
have
You
a
have some
great time. Yeah.
Yeah, you have some fun there. But the majority of your business you're saying is somebody's giving you a call saying, "Hey, so and so told me to give you a call." Then can I ask you something? And I don't want this to come
Yeah.
across as being racially biased or anything. So forgive me if it
Sure. No
does.
problem.
And anybody who's watching and listening, I am just curious though. Would you
Yeah.
say the Latino community or the Hispanic community is pretty good about the referral thing? Like when they find you, it's like, and they
Yeah.
like you, they're like
Yes.
telling, "This is your guy. This is your guy."
Yeah.
Do you think they're more so than other ethnic groups or anything like that? Or
I would say that there's a lot of minority groups, and I feel like a lot of it comes down to culture.
yeah,
Because once they find that right person, there's no reason for them to find anybody else unless they've done something wrong to them,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I think it really builds that trust. And even like thinking back when I was a kid in Mexico, like you have your go-to grocery store, you have your go-to person for XYZ, and there's usually
yeah.
that one go-to person, unless they've cut corners or done something to wrong you. But you always kind of have that reliable resource. And for me, it's like, you know I just feel like it's not just with like Latino clients, but I feel like it's just a lot with like more folks that are more culturally, just folks that practice more. They're like that's part of their culture
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah,
And that's kind of just how they do business. Once you've kind of tapped in and they
yeah,
trust you and they know you, then it's like cool. Like I'm gonna refer you to my aunt, to my uncle, to my cousin, to XYZ. And for me, it's about really creating those connections. And like I always have a lot of my clients share my stuff online, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is. And I think, people, when they see my stuff, they then follow me, and I do a really good job of being very, um, you know, um,
engaging.
engaging and just conscious of like
Mm,
folks who follow me, they're following me for a reason. They want
mm,
to they don't have to follow me essentially because my stuff is public. You could just look at my stuff and move
Yeah.
on. But a lot of people
Yeah.
follow me for a reason. And so I always try to be very intentional, try to reach out to folks, follow up, say, hey, how can I help you? Is there anything I can do to assist? If you're just checking out my page, like, this is all the content I do. If you have questions or just try to be of service. And for me, that's
Do
always
you
been
do
the
you
key
get
thing.
business outside of the referrals? Do you get people that see
Oh
you
yeah.
socially and all that kind of stuff? So you do get
Oh yeah.
some.
I
So
do.
so
Yeah.
so what would you say referral business is what? 70% of where you get your business from? 80, 50? What percent would you say the
Yeah,
referral
I
is?
probably want to say about 70% is repeat referral. I'd say
Okay.
about 20% is social media or
Social.
marketing.
Okay.
And then the last 10%, I'd say it's probably just coming from like networking or my online leads, my website, my Google, like other
Something like that.
platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Before you, when we kind of started this conversation, one of the things that you said that stood out to me is that you said, listen, man, I've done it. I've spent a bunch of money on a bunch of stuff and it's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
it just doesn't play out like, just being this really, amazing servant to people and getting the referral. So for you, primarily, it is the referral, repeat referral would be probably about 70%. And then you would say it's your 20% is your social stuff. So
Yeah,
let's stay here just for a second, then we'll move on to the next segment. But
you got it. Yeah.
so the tell us what like on the social. Is everything you post about real estate, or do you do the mostly, hey, this is just me being me, but once in a while I'll throw in the real estate stuff, or how do you mix that up? What are you posting?
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, every day is something intentional. Like it's every day I'm posting something about real estate related, but I'm also tossing in a lot of the stuff that like it's very personable to me. I love to golf, I love the outdoors.
Okay.
I have a 8-year-old husky named Yoda that I love to death.
Yoda.
And Yoda's a character. He loves to be in the videos and loves to hang out with folks. And he's a bigger social butterfly than I am. So like me and him are that he's like my best buddy. So
Yeah.
love traveling to Mexico, really enjoy that, really enjoy hanging out with family, my girlfriend and friends and my fraternity brothers and stuff like that. So like I really try to post some stuff about me.
Personal stuff. So you're doing
Yeah.
a lot of personal stuff, but sometimes you intentionally are throwing in the, hey man, you need to buy a house or you need to sell your home. You're throwing, and not to hang out here on social too long, but what's your favorite platform for this that you feel like is the place that I kind of get the most mojo?
I think Instagram, just
Instagram.
because it can be so versatile. Like I can post something on my story of something I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I can post, I can post a video, I can post a reel. And lately, my team and I and a couple of friends of ours, we've been doing a lot of funny reels, like things about us at the office or like, just things that are funny, right? And just
Humorous
mainly to
stuff.
show
Yeah.
that, it's all fun and games at the same time too. Like, yes, it's very, very serious, but at the same time, we like to have fun. We like to keep things light. We have personalities. We're not just all real estate all the time. Like,
Yeah.
and let people know, hey, like we like to have fun too. And I love to drink tequila too. Obviously, about my show, and my show is very intentional because I'm bringing on people, and I'm gonna have to get you on, Frank. You're not gonna
Hey, let's
escape
do it.
me
I
on
don't
that
drink
one.
anymore. Hey, I was a professional drinker for many, many years, Ricky. I took drinking to the highest level you could take it to. Trust me. I reached the pinnacle of drinking. But I wound up quitting 8 years ago. But I'll hang
We'll
out
make
with you.
it
You could drink the
informational.
tequila and I'll still hang
Yeah,
out
there
with
you
you,
go.
brother.
I'll be
Yeah.
I'll be your taste tester, and then we'll
There
we'll
you
make
go.
it very informational.
I
But
love
yeah,
it.
no, it's
But
a lot of
yeah.
fun. It's a lot of fun getting to know folks and highlighting folks in the industry that I, have respect for. I feel like they should have
Yeah.
a spotlight, and we do a lot of that stuff. So once a month, we're doing tequila and transactions with somebody in the industry. Every 2 weeks, we're posting an informational video about real estate, something that I'm seeing that I'm trying to let my audience know about. And then every day we're posting something. Mondays or makeover Mondays, we're showing makeovers on homes. Tuesdays, we're doing like old school transformations on properties. Wednesday, we're doing like a weird, wacky Wednesday house. Thursdays, it's throwback Thursday. So we do like a retro home that we love. We pick something out that we really love and highlight that. And then Fridays, something funny. We do post something funny on Fridays. And then obviously we have our listings, we have other, a lot of other stuff, content that we can share. We're starting a lot more video content with our clients too. We're doing like welcome home videos, so we're going to be dropping a lot of that content soon. Just
Cool.
highlighting our clients, just commemorating the moment, the day, because obviously it's been such an emotional roller coaster, and the funnest day is the day that you hand over keys. So we're just
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly just honor our clients and leave them with something to remember that day by, because obviously all we don't have anything guaranteed in this life other than taxes and death. So
There you go.
really appreciating the time that we have. And for us, our clients are our bread and our butter. So that's why I've from the very beginning, when we started this call, I was like, yeah, Frank, like for me, investing in my clients is the best thing I can do, and the thing I feel like I get the most return on investment for. And at the end of the day, it puts a smile on my face and lets me sleep like a baby at night. So
Ah, man, you're a very cool person, dude. I'm really glad I've gotten to meet you already. But
thank you,
okay, let's
Frank.
get to the next segment. Advice,
Yeah.
brother. You got, let's say there's some agents out there. You're doing 30 a year, 30 every, in the past 12 months, 30. Maybe there's somebody who only did 4 in the past 12 months. 8 in the past 12 months. Like what's your advice, man? What would you say to them?
I would say don't give up. I would
Okay.
say that honestly, that what you should do is really find a mentor, find someone that you can someone that you can relate to, someone that's going to obviously push you, but at the same time, someone that's going to be able to call you on your BS, and be able to let if you said you were going to do 50 calls last week and you didn't, well, why didn't you? And be able to hold you accountable for those things too. But I say ultimately consistency is the thing that a lot of agents lack. And I think that consistency is what really has made me successful, because my clients, past, present, future, they see me on a consistent basis, especially my past clients. I'm touching my past clients at least once a month. So they're seeing my face once a month. And, it really opened my eyes when I first started in this industry, that they're saying that it was a huge number. And I don't know what the stat is now, but a lot of folks don't use their agent again after the first transaction. So I was like, well, how am I going to change that? I was like, well, they're going to see me all the time. I'm going to invite them to these parties. I do a really awesome Easter egg hunt for my past clients and family and friends. I do also a Day of the Dead, kind of honoring my culture and honoring our ancestors. So I do 2 events a year, and those have been a big hit. Everybody wants to come hang out because there's tacos, there's drinks, there's cake and this and that, and we usually have a face painter there and all kinds of stuff for the kids. So we have a really good time. But I would say, like, you have to do what works for you, and what works for me may not work for you. But some people don't like cold calling, some people don't like knocking on doors, some people don't want to have to post on social media every day. But I would say try to find 3 things that work for you and really stick to those things. Because for me, it's been social media. It's been past clients, just really doing a lot of client appreciation stuff. And ultimately, it's been networking for me, like really getting out of my comfort zone and networking with other business professionals and even other realtors. People are like, why are you networking with realtors? And for me, it's like, well, because not everybody does, not everybody does, it takes on every single
Everything.
deal.
Yeah.
And they may have something for me up here in the Bay, and that I may be able to help them with.
Yeah.
And so it's all even about helping with referral business with realtors too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you have to find what works for you, and stay consistent. Like I said, find a mentor. And if you're looking, for a fresh new start and you're in the Bay Area, I mean, we'd love to have a conversation with you. For us, it's really about empowering our agents, helping them find what works for them, and just holding them accountable. And I think a testament to our hard work. I have a business partner and my right hand man, Hector Garcia, and he's the yin to my yang. He's really good about setting structure and helping the agents hold themselves accountable. And he's my business partner, and pretty much does all the things I'm not great at myself. And I come from more of a teacher role. So for me, I'm really just helping them how to navigate deals, how to write a contract, how to pretty much anything and everything real estate. But Hector's really the kind of the guy that really helps build up my team and gets them on the right path. And a lot of our agents are new, and they're now consistently closing deals. And we had an agent who came to us a couple of years ago, was only doing about 4 or 5 deals a year, and now she's already done 6 this year. So you know
Nice.
she's back, where she wants to be, and it's all a testament to her hard work. But we just gave her a plan and gave her, what we recommended she do, and she's just been consistent at it. And I think at the end of the day, it's hard work and consistency, because if you're not implementing what you say you're going to do, then you're just back at square one
Then you're
again.
not doing anything. Then you're
Yeah,
not doing it.
exactly.
Hey,
And you're
listen, we
not.
got it. We got to move to the next segment, but awesome stuff. Mentorship, accountability, consistency. Love it. Great advice. We've got like 2 minutes left here, 2 or 3 minutes left.
Okay.
This is the fun part, the real side of real estate. Real
Yes.
estate looks, hey, go to your website and look at it. Very beautiful. Someone who's like not in real estate would look at that and go, wow, what a lifestyle these guys must have. This must be just like the easiest, coolest thing in the world to do, But what's the truth, man? Give us a transaction or something that you've experienced in this business that you think, oh, yeah, take a look at this. This is
Oh man,
what do you got?
I have countless stories, Frank, but I'm gonna give you one that I really got tested on in my career. And yeah, we make it look pretty, and we drive the nice cars and wear the nice watches and do all that stuff too. But best believe that there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears behind getting all those things. And for me, early on in my career, I helped an associate take on a listing in an area that I was more familiar with than she was in Pittsburgh, and took us almost about a year, about 11 months to sell this place.
Wow.
And it started out with trying to help our client get her tenant out, who was a niece of hers, and then turned into squatters, and then turned into all these things. But we stayed resilient. We didn't give up. We kept holding the home open, doing what we could. And I'll tell you what,
So they were at tenants, and then you tried to get them out, and that failed to a certain degree, and then they just became squatters.
Frank, these are two separate groups of people.
Two
So
separate groups?
the tenants got out, and then we had people squat in the property.
Oh, so
Yeah.
oh Lord.
So
All
once we
right. So you
thought the
finally
job
get the
was over.
tenants out, then squatters move in. Now you got to deal with getting squatters out, right?
Yep. Yep. So, and then
That's challenging. That's challenging. And hey, I'm going to go on the record right now, Ricky. Look, we understand people are homeless. We understand people. We're not trying to belittle anybody in that respect.
No.
But it's just you're doing a transaction. These things occur. These become challenges.
Yes.
In your transaction. So, wow.
So, yeah,
okay. So how did it go? Did you finally get the squatters relocated? And
yes, so we got them out, and with a little bit of good verbiage, they left. We had to board up the property, and the person that we had in contract ended up, they couldn't perform because they found out that there was a bankruptcy. And how do you find out that there's a bankruptcy right before we're going to close?
darn, that pesky bankruptcy. Did that show up? Again, nothing against people that had a bankruptcy. I've had a bankruptcy in my life.
Yes,
So,
but it showed up at the very end.
Yeah.
And then all hope was lost. And I said, you know what? Let's clean it up. Let's get the doors open. Let's get a showing. Let's get some open houses going. And so at this point, the other realtor was kind of checked out. She was over it. She was like, Ricky, if you want to take this on, this is your deal. Like, all right, well, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. So I held an open house. The sweetest lady came in. She saw the vision, and she's one of my first and best clients I've ever had. And she was in business all the time, and she still lives there to this day. And literally, I double-ended the deal, got a little bit of money on both sides. And we're in an awesome industry where we can do that.
Yeah.
11 months to sell, but I got, was able to get a little money on the listing side and
got her done.
We made it happen. It was all being resilient, working hard, not giving up, and really just trying to be there for our client, because at the end of the day, she needed to sell that place. She had, goals that she needed to achieve, and we didn't want to let her down.
So good, man. Thank you, Ricky. Ricky Alvarez, everybody. Ricky Alvarez. Rick, you mentioned that you got some opportunities for people if they want to hook up with you and your team. So the number 925-381-7180. That's correct.
That's
and
correct.
We'll have that down below for you guys that are watching. 925-381-7180, or at Ricky the Realtor on Instagram.
Yep.
At Ricky the Realtor.
Ricky _the Realtor.
_the Realtor. Okay,
Ricky. Look up Ricky the Realtor. You should find me, or else I'm not paying people enough.
We'll put it down there. Yeah,
Cool.
We'll put it down there so they got that. Ricky, thank you so much, man, for being here. Stick with me. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, but stick with me. Don't go away.
You got
So
it.
for everybody else that's watching, hey man, thanks for tuning in. Super appreciate it. Do us a favor. You can forward this, share it with other agents that you think could benefit from it. I think anybody could benefit from this interview. It was great to talk to Ricky, and yeah, we'll stay in touch with you guys as well. So super appreciate it. All right, for the rest of you guys then, and for on behalf of myself and Ricky, you guys have a great day and a wonderful career. As you go forward in real estate. Hope you learned something today, and we'll catch up with you guys later. We'll see you. Bye bye.